Dr. Kimber Hicketts.
Thank you, Lascan Corla. Since 2020, when I was first elected, time and time again, I've risen to my feet in support of the fundamental rights for Palestinians. Today, we raise the Palestinian flag above Dáil Éireann. Today, we signalled our support for a two-state solution. Today, we are proud to be Irish. It's a momentous, significant and historic day, and Spain and Norway join us in our recognition of the state of Palestine, and we hope and we encourage more countries to do the same. Because how can we ever get to a two-state solution without recognising Palestine as a state? Lascan Corla, every time I've risen to my feet here to discuss Palestine, the death toll there has increased. The destruction of Palestine has increased. The carnage in Palestine has increased. And so too has the propaganda from the Israeli government. The Hamas attack on October 7th is something I absolutely condemn. And the 1,000 Israeli lives who have been lost since then should not have been lost. But those awful figures, which represent real people and real families, stand in stark contrast to the 35,000 Palestinians in Gaza who have died since then. And over 15,000 of them were children. 10,000 more are missing. That is completely disproportionate. The Israeli Defense Forces, known for its military precision, it's them that are targeting babies and hospitals. The Israeli Defense Fences, who have their state-of-the-art technologies at their disposal, can't tell the difference between artillery and aid at their borders. That's not credible. That's not an accident. That's not a mistake. Children are starving to death, and humanitarian aid is being purposefully blocked before it can get to them, before it can save children's lives. Israel has very clear obligations to provide access of humanitarian aid, and it should be held to account on that. I've been to Palestine. I've seen firsthand how Palestinians are treated by Israeli Defense members. And that's before this level of tension. That's before this level of war. And because of that disdain, the United Nations has been forced to halt all food distributions in Rafah after running out of supplies. And we know that families are leaving their homes to travel to so-called safe zones, only to get there and find their death zones. And Israel needs to be held to account on that. And that is why I believe that at a European level, we need to talk sanctions, because Israel is blatantly ignoring the International Court of Justice ruling last Friday. Ireland and Spain have been seeking to convene a meeting of the EU-Israeli Association Council for this reason, and I'm glad that the Taoiseach secured this agreement yesterday. And I really welcome the Taoiseach and the Taoiseach's continued engagement with the European and Arab ministers to coordinate support for the Arab peace vision, because diplomacy and negotiations are the only way to end the war in Gaza and to de-escalate tensions in the Middle East. I've collaborated with the Taoiseach and his team, with Tzedakah Ireland, the Palestine Alliance, and with the Palestinian ambassadors here with us today. And I have been to the United Nations headquarters to call on fellow international parliamentarians to back humanitarian aid, to back UNRWA, to back justice, to back freedom. This conflict has upset and horrified so many people here in Ireland. And students from St. Joseph's College in Lucan visited Leinster House this morning. One of the first questions they asked me was, how is Ireland supporting Palestine? And I was proud to be able to say that Ireland is leading on this internationally. Ireland was one of the first countries to call for a ceasefire. Ireland was one of the first countries to continue to back funding for UNRWA, to support the International Criminal Court and the International Court of Justice. And today the Palestinian flag flies proudly over Dáil Éireann as we formally recognise the state of Palestine. Caoimhe Duffy, a sixth-year student from that same school, St. Joseph's, just last week won the Thomas Francis Meagher Scholarship for her poem, Dóchas Faoin Amrat, Hope Beneath the Flag. And I'd like to finish, Lascan Corla, by reading a section of this poem in its English translation. Now the flag is a symbol of peace, and there will be hope for the children of Ireland and the children of the world. If you're born in Cork or in Donegal, in Ukraine or in Palestine, when you see the Irish flag flowing, it says 100,000 welcomes.
Agus a leis